Hi everyone, this is Jin Ta. I'm the Principal Flute of Singapore Symphony Orchestra, and it's such a pleasure for me to be here and talk about the Ibert Flute Concerto that I will be performing with my beloved orchestra. Now let's talk about, I want to share with you about the instrument, flute, as well as the piece I'm going to perform. And maybe I'll do a little bit demonstration on the flute. So, yes, this work was composed between 1932 and the first performance one in 1934. And the whole concerto was dedicated to the great flute master, Marcel Moyse. Now, we have to understand the background of this music while it's composed. Ibert was born in 1890, so by the time he was composing this, he's already 42 years old. And his life is living in between two world wars. I think Ibert, he managed to have his own style. Now, his music is neither the new classic or the German expressionism. So his music is very unique. Everything's really in a more relaxed and joyful style. From this, you can actually hear a lot from his music. His music is always happy and light music and with specific rhythm pattern. So that's where I think we can start talk about the music. Like as say the first movement, you know, the beginning goes like. So this kind of 16th notes unstopped. It actually reminds you of this busy Paris street, where the railway track and the carriage and people walking around is very noisy. People spend more time outdoor, enjoy social life, you know. And funny enough, is same like Debussy's The Afternoon of Fun. Ibert, starting from this first movement, doesn't give you a specific key that which piece is this in. So it keep modulating. And it's not easy for flute, certainly. And then it's only till the end of this first movement you finally found where the whole composition in the first movement landing the key. Here. It's either F minor or F major, so you'll make the guess. The second movement is a very slow. Now I have to mention something that Ibert, he often travel around and he spent quite a lot of time while he's young in I think Tunisia or some part of Africa. So actually you hear a lot of this Arabic music feeling or rhythm. For instance, you can hear from the first movement, I play for you from. If I only play like this, you cannot really recognize it's an Arabic scale. But if I do it more in a percussive way, maybe you will feel that. It sounds like this. So it's very, very Arabic. Second movement, from one of James Galway's interview, he mentioned it might composed during the sudden loss of his father. So the whole movement started with very great sadness, everything. Only in this movement, I found a lot of scale or tones that we are very familiar with our Chinese culture. For instance, the middle section, it goes like. 5-tone scale, very, very clear presented here. So that's one thing very, very interesting, whereas all these fantastic composers, they can really pick up any kind of style that are in their mind and then structure them together and make them seamless. So that everything that works really great and perfect in the whole structure of the composition. This is what I call a great genius. Okay. Only towards the end of the second movement where you can hear the old tone come back. I have to say, well, I was younger. I first played this concerto while I was 13. I thought more of a second movement like a lullaby, where a mother and a baby, singing to make the baby sleep. But after I hear this idea about it's actually to compose the right after he lost his relative, the ending part sounds to me is more like a final resolution, where the whole tone shooting lightly towards the heaven. So now I think I will play this whole movement with much, much different feeling. Okay, and then the third movement sounds more like a jig, but in this movement is everything in 4/4. So that's also very, very unique. The whole composition, third movement is very, very celebrating, and all the way till the end of the whole movement. Imagine we did the Mozart concerto like. Or you're familiar with like Bach. But for this piece, immediately after starting, it's already. It's very, very difficult, Usually when we first get on the stage, after taking a bow, we want to start with something really slow and gentle. But here, immediately it's forte, expressive, all the high octave and finger movement, along with your nervousness, heart beating, everything mixed together. And this is the piece. And bear in mind, by then, the flute construction was not as advanced as today. So that makes this composition double difficult. Okay. Oh, by the way, today I'm playing on a really, really old French flute called Bonville. So this instrument happens to build around where Ibert was born. I think it's built in 1889, so probably a year before him. And you can already see this is the instrument case, and it's already been taped. And inside, you can see all the histories and the golden words, Paris. Yeah. So that's why I chose this instrument to do the demonstration, and hopefully it doesn't falling apart. I'll use it for the concert as well. And I think that's everything I want to say about this piece, and I'm looking forward to see you all over there, and I'll try my best. Thank you.